What is up, everybody? Solomon here. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. If you see any scam ads on this video, please do not participate. I do believe that I am going to utilize this video for a giveaway. I chose to do $50 worth of XRP, and I will do another $50 giveaway next week. As I stated previously, $200, $50 segments, so 4 people will win 50, just as a thank you from myself for all of the support. Now, in order to win that, you have to obviously post a comment. Don't post multiple comments because it removes multiple comments regardless. And like and subscribe if you want to do so. Tons of news today, so please don't participate in scams, but I want to get into it. We've got G20 and the finance industry in Japan with a Emi Yoshikawa Ripple connection and multiple Ripple bank connections today, as well as these institutions' digitization initiatives. So first off, the Bank for International Settlement overnight, or maybe it was late last night, put out a new working paper, The Rise of Central Bank Digital Currencies, Drivers, Approaches, and Technologies. Now, this is like a 44-page document, so there's no way I'm going to go through the entire thing here. I will say it does talk about cross-border remittances, quite a bit in here. If I just type in remittances, there we go. Cross-border transactions. Most CBDCs serve domestic purposes. One could expect that especially internationally oriented CBDCs, e.g. projects, or for example, projects for cross-border interbank settlement or migrant remittances, may be more likely in more internationally integrated economies. Now, it goes down that they do focus a lot on the Bank of Canada and their CBDC initiative. They talk about Riksbank and their CBDC initiative. There's just quite a bit of information in this. As always, you know, it's easy to find this, but I post this to Patreon as well. It's just a gigantic document. So here's what I wanted to get into, though. This is G20. This came out today. Efforts on governance issues in decentralized financial systems. This is this BEGIN initiative. If you're going to do a search on it, it's BGIN, which is a new global network. And I guess this is operated by or in coordination with the Japan Financial Services Agency. And an overview is it's a decentralized financial system underpinned by blockchain, could attain full peer-to-peer financial transactions without intermediaries. While such systems can offer a variety of opportunities and benefits, they could also undermine the ability to enforce existing regulations. As stated in the G20 Osaka Leaders Declaration under Japan's presidency, a consensus has been reached on the issue of governance of decentralized financial systems based on blockchain, and the importance of strengthening dialogue within a range of stakeholders, including regulatory authorities and engineers. So this is basically, and you'll see here in a second, this is a consortium from Legacy all the way up through people like Ripple that are involved in this. But this is still big. This is a G20 initiative. This is this project BEGIN, and they're having panel discussions here. Now, we can go to their actual website. Now, this initiative aims at providing an open and neutral sphere for all stakeholders to deepen common understanding and to collaborate to address issues they face in order to attain sustainable development of the blockchain community. We talk about it all the time, ladies and gentlemen. This is a global initiative, what is going on. It's very clear to see what these institutions are doing. If they're not future-proofing, they're building on blockchain or distributed ledger technology, but they are all, at this point, in my opinion, future-proofing, at least, at a minimum. Now, we can go to their GitHub repository here. Now, this is meeting materials and minutes, okay? And it directly talks about cryptocurrency exchanges if you search through here. But, you know, summary and action points, you could go down the gambit here, but I just did want to talk about some of the in the annex that lists the participants here. Law schools, lawyers, Financial Service Agency Japan. You've got Emi Yoshikawa from Ripple. You've got Digital Asset Markets, Dash, Globi. I mean, you can go on and on and on here. There isn't a ton of them, but there's enough. ANATBA, we all know ANATBA is the blockchain initiative that multiple blockchain companies coming together, basically. But interesting. Mitsubishi, Mizuho, we know Mizuho is SBI, tied in with SBI. So, but Emi Yoshikawa is obviously involved in this initiative as well. We go down the list here. I do believe that was the ad hoc online preparatory meeting for this Begin Block 01. And Begin Block 01 is the first actual meeting, which will be in the fall of this year. So pay attention to that. I'm curious to see where that develops. Now, this talks about 2 Ripple partners expanding on opposite sides of the globe. TP Bank is a RippleNet client. They're about to start their first transaction office in Fukui, while Currency Cloud partners with Radius Bank for better cross-border payments. So interesting. We don't know if they're going to be using XRP in the future or not, so I don't want to speculate on that, but we can see that RippleNet is expanding. Also, Ripple registered 2 trademark applications. I think this was found yesterday or maybe the day before. Now, the first one is Ripple Impact. It was filed on August 19th. And I believe the second one is called Ripple X, or you could call it, I don't know how, I would assume it's just Ripple X or Ripples, probably Ripple X. But interestingly enough, and this should clear up some of the confusion around Australia's Pay ID versus RippleNet's Pay ID initiative. Ripple is facing a trademark infringement suit from, I guess it's from the Australian payments operator, which was filed on August 20th. So again, another lawsuit. We'll see where that goes. All right, this is just more on Currency Cloud, Radius Bank's cross-border payments collaboration. Now, they're allowing customers now to send cross-border payments to more than 180 countries. And they're going to be doing this through Currency Cloud's API to allow an API is application programming interface to allow outgoing payments to reach international destinations they were unable to reach before with their clients. So I'm curious if RippleNet plugs into that. We could see here, just for scope and fact, that Currency Cloud announces partnership with Ripple to process cross-border payments on RippleNet. Interesting. All right, now this is from the Daily Hodl, but I did want to give credit to Stephen Dieppe. I follow him, I know, but he is like one of the real good researchers in the XRP community. And I believe that he found this information. This is records reveal Ripple CEO met with senior Trump administration official in 2018. Was XRP on the agenda? Now, if you're not aware, I can look right now. There was also a meeting between Jay Clayton. Hold on one second. There was a meeting between Jay Clayton and Ripple as well. So we can see here, this is Monday, August 20th. This is Jay Clayton's calendar. Meeting with Ripple, including Brad Garlinghouse, who is the CEO, David Schwartz, who is the CTO, or the Chief Technology Officer, and John Roscoe, who at that time was the Special Assistant to the President, White House Office of Presidential Personnel, and the SEC Chair, Jay Clayton. Those are the only 4 people in the meeting. So I'm curious what they were talking about. But we see Stephen Dieppe here. He finds additional information that documents from the U.S. Office of Management and Budget show Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, met with Special Assistant to the President, Caroline Moore, on September 26th and October 3rd of 2018. So that's a fantastic find. I'm curious what they were discussing. Again, I know that I do obviously compensate for fines, but this was right on the Daily Hodl. So, Steven, you can message me if you want. If you want me to, I will. That's fine, dude, because that was just a fantastic find regardless, man. Now we've got Noom. Noom expands Latin American presidents with Teledollar partnership. Now, if you're not aware, Noom is directly into RippleNet, but this Teledollar looks to be a decently sized organization. Now, Noom is forging partnerships to open doors in Southeast Asia. This was right on Ripple's website. We know that they're a Ripple partner. Noom used to be referred to as Instarem. So if you find information, or if you want to look into that, there's probably some information out there that would be interesting to you. This is Teledollar, and this is from their website just to provide some scope. Teledollar apparently has been around for 25 years in Costa Rica. They use modern technological tools and have a secure distribution network with more than 2,500 stores, so that's awesome. Again, not saying if they're going to be utilizing XRP. I don't believe Instarem or Noom do at this point, but who knows where that goes. This was interesting today as well. Centralbanking.com. Now, I don't have a subscription, but obviously a reliable website. Central Bank of Brazil formed a central bank digital currency working group. I believe this was on August 20th. What was interesting to me about this is that we saw articles about a month or two ago with Brad Garlinghouse meeting with the CEO of the Central Bank of Brazil. We can see it from this article here. Ripple and Central Bank of Brazil hold private meeting. And I'm just curious what the discussion was, because, the introduction of a CBDC could enhance benefits, substantial changes to the national financial system. It's just crazy big information. Again, not saying that they're going to be utilizing XRP for anything, but perhaps that they're going to be utilizing Ripple as a technology provider of some sort. Now, the objective of the meeting between Brad Garlinghouse and the president of the central bank, which is Roberto Campos, was for institutional matters, per the CEO of the bank. So interesting. Now we've got Aave. This isn't Ripple at all. This is not XRP at all. I believe this is Lend, but I saw this today. And Aave has been granted an electronic money institution license by the United Kingdom's Financial Conduct Authority. And I don't hold any of this. I wish I did. I looked at this today. I found this early this morning, so I might have been able to catch something if I hopped on. But this is Lend, I guess. Aave, they're like 40 or, oh, I'm sorry, they're like 24th or whatever. All right. Malaysia and Indonesia regulators signed Fintech Cooperation Pact. Now, I don't want to go into this overly here, but it just goes with the rhetoric that we've been seeing across the board for the past 2 years now. There's multiple barriers being broken down for fintech cooperation. They are trying to minimize silos as much as possible so that the corresponding relationships can be more easily bridged for, in my opinion, what is about to be happening across the board here as far as digitization is concerned. So just one more example of that. All right, this is Ripple. Again, digital transformation. This is Egypt. This is National Bank of Egypt. This was today. The largest bank in Egypt introduces new services to support virtual banking following blah, 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 2019 outbreak. Okay. National Bank of Egypt, the country's largest banking institution in terms of total assets, number of branches, and employees, has introduced several services via its Al-Ali Net and NBE mobile app in order to support its digital banking strategy. The bank is planning to offer new types of virtual banking services. This is part of Egypt's digital transformation strategy, obviously, but he does go on to reveal that NBE has upgraded its legacy technology infrastructure so that the bank can digitize most of its financial services. Now, 2.7 million customers have subscribed to Al-Ali Net service, so interesting. And we can see right here, obviously, this was from earlier this year. Egypt's largest bank joins RippleNet for remittances. National Bank of Egypt, country's biggest bank by total assets, has joined Ripple's blockchain-based payments network, RippleNet. Egypt is one of the top 5 remittance recipient countries. Migrants sent $29 billion worth of funds in 2018. NBE won't use RippleNet's on-demand liquidity solution for now, which utilizes XRP for processing remittances, a Ripple spokesperson told The Block. Now, I wanted to get into this a little bit too, because this document, this is a white paper from, I'll call it TRISA, that just came out recently. And they are a Pay ID initiative. So this is Ripple's Pay ID, interoperability messaging matrix. And what they're trying to do is cryptocurrency compliant travel rule for the travel rule. Decentralized cryptocurrency travel rule compliance. So, and if you don't know what the travel rule is, it is a Bank Secrecy Act rule. Called the travel rule, requires all financial institutions to pass on certain information to the next financial institution in certain funds transmittals involving more than one financial institution. We can see right here they are part of the Pay ID initiative. Now, this is big. This is tied in somewhat to Hashgraph here. This is FPOS rolls out digital payment service. So now they are in the digital payments game as well. FPOS is huge. You may have heard from my interview with Hedera Hashgraph that FPOS and the Hedera Hashgraph initiative is not taking place in New Zealand. It is only the Australia portion, but still huge. initially focusing on processing regular card on-file payments. Australian debit card company EFTPOS has made its first play into the digital payment realm with the rollout of its digital payment service to banks and retailers. Almost 40 Australian banks, including Suncorp, have already signed up for the service, which will mean their cards can be processed through EFTPOS's digital payment system. Begun processing payments through the service. Now we can see last month the company announced that it teamed up with distributed ledger firm Hedera Hashgraph to develop a micropayments proof of concept in hopes it could be used as an alternative payment to monthly subscriptions or paywalls. If you're not aware what that is, you log on to a website and you want to read an article, but you have to pay for the article. I think Wall Street Journal does it. We can see that centralbanking.com from this presentation did it. But instead of a paywall where you have to subscribe, you have a certain amount of Hedera Hashgraph, and for whatever time that you read the article that you want to read, a micro, small, tiny, little amount of Hedera Hashgraph is transmitted from your wallet into the organization that you're reading from's wallet. So if it's Wall Street Journal, for example, when you read an article, you may pay 45 or 50 cents, or maybe even 12 cents, or whatever it may be to read that portion of the article. So you're only paying for the service that you want to use, right? You're not just paying for a subscription every month, and then you find out later, I want to cancel this because I don't use it enough. So I think it's huge. I think micropayments are going to be huge as well. So we'll see how that plays out. This is Vechain. This is NSF International's COVID-19 Safety Protection Certification brings Vechain blockchain to worldwide public health protection. I hope I didn't trigger the algorithm there with saying that. So big news for Vechain again. Awesome. Now, I did want to just tell you the scope of EFTPOS. EFTPOS, as of June 2018, 961,247 EFTPOS terminals in Australia and 30,940 ATMs. Huge. 183 million transactions in 2010 worth 12 billion in Australian currency. Now this is Huawei, and they are building a blockchain platform to help Beijing government manage people's data. So that's a little bit scary, right? Chinese tech conglomerate Huawei has set up a blockchain-based platform for the Beijing government to better track and manage its citizens' data in everything from medical records and property registration to real-time vehicle parking status. That's a little bit scary, I think, in my opinion. You're basically just being tracked across the board, but you know that's what's coming. So, and this is cool. This has nothing to do with XRP or anything like that, or most digital assets even. But this is Break, and they're announcing their agreement to commercialize its Gen 2 technology with blockchain-driven digital token for gold mining concern. Now, this is like a self-sustaining like individual camera that's going to be worn for gold mining for traceability purposes. And I looked on a Break's website here, which is just, I really thought this was interesting. Apparently they have like Gen 2 cameras for sports, for like live sports, where like all players are essentially going to be wearing their own headset with cameras, so you can get like an in-depth view while you're watching your favorite sports on TV. So that's awesome. I can understand why they're doing that from a mining standpoint too, because traceability is a huge issue. We know as far as supply chain is concerned, depending on where you're sourcing from, and just the way that we see blockchain. Regardless, I'm sure that this is going to be like a validation record from inception through fruition for whatever you want to purchase. You'll be able to physically see. We can even see here, you know. To gold mining concern, microbody cameras into the gold mining value chain, from the refining process to smelting into coins into vault storage. So, all right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We've got the G20 and the Japan information, which I thought was interesting. We see RippleNet expansion. We see digitization across the board here. I just want to see XRP price valuations represent utility usage at some point here. And I'm here for the long term with XRP. But I'm also, like I always state on this channel, I'm also into diversification. I think it's just smart to do so. So I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and take it easy. If there's news tomorrow, I will present it. All right, later.